y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Shabbat. How y'all doing this morning? I hope all is well with y'all. I came out a little early today to beat the heat. All right, all right, all right. So today's teaching is going to be short, but very informative. This video is for informational purposes. All right, and it's broken down into two parts. All right. So the first part, I have 3 points. And then at the end, I'm going to ask a question to you all. You don't have to answer right now. You can think about it, when you eat your breakfast or your lunch. Think about it, all right? And then part two is just basically just listen. I'm just giving out some information that a lot of you all may not be aware of, okay? All right, all right. So part one, question. Are you a Hebrew or a Gentile? Okay, again, are you a Hebrew or a Gentile? Disclaimer. All skin folks aren't necessarily kin folks. I know you guys have heard that before. And an example of that would be if you think about the Egyptians and the Jews, right? And Moses, for the most part, he was raised up in the palace with the Egyptians, and he passed for them. So that tells you that he looked like them. Okay. Point one. It is a known fact that Christ the Messiah, which comes from the Hebrew word Yeshua HaMashiach, Mashiach, was in fact a Jew. Not to be confused with Jewish, okay? But a Jew, Hebrew, Israelite. And if you want to know more about the Messiah's genealogy, you can look it up in Matthew chapter 1, verses 1 through 16, all right? Okay. Point two, Matthew chapter 22, verses 29 to 33. I'm not going to go over it the entirety, but basically what it is Yahusha is telling the people like who he is. Basically, I am the God of, the same one that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's my father. He's letting them know that that's his, that's where he come from. All right. So you can go back and know more about that. Matthew 22, verses 29 to 33. Okay. Point three. A Hebrew is a Jew, and any group who did not identify as a Jew was classified as a Gentile. That could have been the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Romans, the Syrians, and the like. Okay? So if you wasn't a Jew, you just called a Gentile. All right? Got some company coming on here. So then, the question I have is I would like to poll a question to the viewing audience here. And the question is it your belief that your lineage, I can never get that word out, your lineage is of Hebrew or Gentile descent? Let me say that again, 'cause I butchered it. Is it your belief that your lineage is of Hebrew or Gentile descent? Okay? And I'm going to go back to point three just to let you know. A Hebrew is a Jew, and any group who did not identify as a Jew was classified as a Gentile. And that could have been a Greek person, Egyptian, Roman, Syrian, and the like, okay? So, if you answered Hebrew, Israelite, or Jew, not to be confused with Jewish, then why are you, as a Hebrew, affiliated with Greek life or organizations? Again, if you answered Hebrew, Israelite, or Jew, not to be confused with Jewish, then why are you, as a Hebrew, affiliated with Greek life or organization? Now, I'm fully aware that earlier Greeks may have very well been people of color, okay? So I'm aware of that, all right? Just something to think about, no worries. So that was part one. All right, so now we're gonna move on to part two. Are you a Hebrew or Christian? Okay? Are you a Hebrew or are you a Christian? All right. Now, we previously discussed what it means to identify as a Hebrew. But what about a Christian? Acts 11:26, it entails where the disciples were first called Christians. And this was at Antioch. Before then, they were called disciples, brethren, but this is where they were first called Christians. It is believed to have been coined as a derogatory name for people who followed the teachings of Christ. During this time, Yahusha had already been crucified. People likely who weren't Hebrews also became followers, and so all followers of Yahusha were grouped together and labeled as Christians. During these times, disciples and followers of Yahusha teachings were put to death. Yeah, they was killing them, killing the Christians. A lot of Hebrews, in fear of being put to death, converted to other religions. One popular religion during that time was Muslim faith. It was popular during that time. Okay. Due to the large following of people who profess to believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahusha, this was like mixed nationalities and the like, a new religion was formed called Christianity. Roman Empire Constantine was the first Roman empire to convert to Christianity. I actually learned about, I'm gonna pause right here. I learned that in college and undergrad, and learning that information is what like stuck in my head, because I'm like, hold on, the Romans, they're the ones that killed Christians and this and third. How did he become, a Christian and all this? Well, Paul became a Christian too, so I can't fault him. But let's carry on. It is written that many believe his conversion to Christianity was politically driven. Prior to his converting to Christianity, he practiced paganism. It's also written that with his converting, he incorporated or brought over a lot of pagan customs, ways, belief systems to include holidays. And I did a video about a month ago called No Happy Holiday. And in the video, I discussed how a lot of the believers, the actual Jews, not the ones that converted, were against this newly beliefs and customs that the emperor brought over into Christianity. Some argue that by doing this, he perverted Christianity. So I'm not going to insult anyone's intelligence. To pervert has multiple meanings. Two meanings that I found in the dictionary or Google was to change or to corrupt. Okay, the Christianity faith religion grew amongst all nations, making it very popular, even more so than the Muslim faith. So it grew. It grew a lot. It is written that the Ethiopian Bible scrolls is the oldest Bible. Okay, prior to the King James Version was the Geneva Bible. The King James Version came 51 years after the Geneva Bible in the 17th century. Now, I'm gonna give you guys my homework. I always give you homework. YouTube King James and in the Bible and stuff like that. You'll find a lot of facts about him that you may have not have known. It's too many to list here. But YouTube King James and the Bible and all of that, how that came to be. All right? The Geneva Bible was one of the last Bible versions to have in it what people like to call the lost books. I hate this reference. I really do, because the books weren't lost. They were taken out. So people, please stop saying the lost books. They were taken out. Prior to the King James Version, they were in the Geneva Bible. He gave a decree to the scribes and them to take the those books, Enoch and all those books out. But I digress. Also, terms and names were also removed and replaced with other names. One name that was removed was Yahusha. That's the Savior, the Messiah, and replaced with the name Jesus in the 17th century. This alleged name caused controversy and raised many eyebrows and concerns, considering that the letter J was only derived or introduced into the alphabet a century earlier, 1524 to be exact, by this Italian guy here, Gino, middle name Gioro or Gio, and last name is like Trissino, Trissino, an Italian poet, a grammarist, and a dramarist. According to Google, he is known as the father of the letter J. Also to note, Yahuwah, that's the creator, was replaced with God, and Yehuda was replaced with Judah. There's that J again. J didn't come about until 1524. Keep that in mind. Okay. I did a video a while back called "How Did Blacks Become Christians," and you can find it on my YouTube channel. That's beloved underscore the underscore chosen. Okay. So that question again: are you a Hebrew or a Christian? Okay. You guys know that's pretty much the end of my teaching today. The enemy's his main objective is to kill, steal, and destroy. And guys, I'm just telling you, we've all, the world, been hoodwinked, bamboozled, tricked by the enemy. A lot of stuff we have to denounce, a lot of stuff we have to unlearn, a lot of stuff we have to learn. I struggle right now. I mean, I got the Yahusha down pat, but that that God and Lord, I struggle with that. A little bit about me, my background. I come from the Christian church. I left 10 years ago, and I sang a lot, led a lot of songs, and in a lot of songs you have God and Lord. So I don't sing now like because I don't want to make a mistake and say those names, and that's not the names. And I try to put in Yah and all that, but I find myself sometimes saying those names. But yeah, man, I should have started off with this part. I normally start off with this, but Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people perish for lack of knowledge. And because they reject knowledge, he said, I'll reject thee. And he goes even a step further and says he'll even reject your children. Okay? So just take this teaching here, go back and be like the Thessalonians and study and show yourself approved. And yeah, okay. Have a great Sabbath, Shabbat, and I'll see you guys later, all right? I'm gonna start coming this time because it's real nice and cool. You look, I brought my little Martin Luther King fan just in case, but I ain't even need it. All right. Y'all be blessed, all right? I couldn't leave without y'all seeing my fringes. I did my little fringes. Did it myself.